Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Greek ebook before it's gone.
Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to GreekPod101.com's ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Greek. In the last lesson, we learned the phrase συγγνώμη, μιλάτε αγγλικά? Excuse me, do you speak English? We mentioned the word συγγνώμη, which means excuse me in Greek. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to use συγγνώμη and other words when apologizing in Greek. We should use συγγνώμη in formal situations such as when we are ordering something in bars or restaurants. For example, συγγνώμη, ένα καφέ παρακαλώ. Excuse me, a coffee please. We can also use it when asking a question. συγγνώμη, πού είναι η Ακρόπολη? Excuse me, where is the Acropolis? Sometimes we also hear people say παρακαλώ, which literally means please or I beg, but means the same thing as συγγνώμη when you want to draw somebody's attention. We always use this phrase in formal speech. Παρακαλώ. The informal way to say excuse me is με συγχωρείτε. Με συγχωρείτε. Just like συγγνώμη, we can use με συγχωρείτε when asking a question or when apologizing. All of these phrases can be used for either excuse me or I'm sorry. But if you really want to apologize for something, it might be better to use a different phrase. That phrase is λυπάμαι. It means I'm sorry or I'm sad and can be used in both formal and informal situations. Λυπάμαι. Like in other cases we have seen, the verb λυπάμαι, I'm sad or I'm sorry, is used without the personal pronoun εγώ, I. By just saying the verb, the listener understands you are talking about yourself. Now it's time for Chrissy's insights. Please remember that in Greece, if you accidentally bump into someone, you don't say, I'm sorry, λυπάμαι. Instead, we say συγγνώμη, excuse me, or με συγχωρείτε, forgive me. Are you able to count in Greek? In the next lesson, we will learn the numbers in Greek from 1 to 10. I'll be waiting for you in our next ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. Θα τα ξαναπούμε στο επόμενο μάθημα.
Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to GreekPod101.com's ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Greek. In our last lesson, we learned how to use συγγνώμη, με συγχωρείτε, and λυπάμαι when apologizing in Greek. In this lesson, we are going to learn something even more practical, how to count from 1 to 10 in Greek. And we'll learn them all in 3 minutes. 3 λεπτά. Are you ready? Let's start. 1. Ένα. 2. 2. 3. 3. 4. 4. 5. 5. 6. 6. 7. 7. 8. 8. 9. 9. 10. 10. Okay, now repeat after me. I'll say the numbers and give you time to repeat each one. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Great job! What is before ένα? Do you know? Yes, it's 0. In Greek, it's miden. Miden. So now, you can count pretty much anything and do other useful stuff like giving your friends your cell phone number and writing down theirs. Let's see how to do that in Greek. We'll use the phrase "ο αριθμός μου είναι," which means my number is. Ο αριθμός μου είναι. Ο αριθμός μου είναι 6, 9, 7, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 0. Can you read it by yourself? 6, 9, 7, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 0. Okay? Great! Now it's time for Chrissy's insights. Like most words in Greek, numbers are gender sensitive. The numbers we learn today are used when counting neuter objects. The masculine and feminine numbers are almost the same, but with slight differences for the numbers 1 through 4. We won't get into this for now, since with the neuter numbers, you can do most things. Even if you use the wrong gender, Greeks will understand you. Do you know the Greek word for 100? If you don't worry. In the next lesson, we are going to learn the numbers from 11 to 100 in Greek. Your task now is to practice the numbers we studied in this lesson from 1 to 10. I'll be waiting for you in our next ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά lesson. Θα τα ξαναπούμε στο επόμενο μάθημα.
Learning to carry a conversation is vital to mastery of any language. Even beginners can quickly learn conversational language well enough to carry on real conversations with native speakers. Of course, beginners won't be able to carry a conversation the same way they could in their native language. But just knowing a few tips, like which questions to ask to keep a conversation going, are all you need to speak and interact with real native speakers. Before we get to specific suggestions, let's first take a closer look at how having real conversations in your target language is so vital to your mastery of the language. Communicating with other people is the very point of language, and conversation comes easily in our native tongue. For beginners, or anyone learning a new language, conversations aren't easy at all, and even simple greetings can be intimidating and awkward. Nothing kills a conversation faster than long periods of awkward silence, so you need practice and specific strategies to avoid them. When you know what to say to keep a conversation going, communication becomes much easier, and you make a better impression on your listener. Nothing will help you learn to speak a language faster and truly master the language than having real conversations with native speakers. Conversations quickly expose you to slang, cultural expressions, and vocabulary that force you to absorb and assimilate information faster than any educational setting. And that's a great thing. But how can you possibly have real conversations with real people if you're just starting out? Here are 3 proven methods that even beginners can quickly use to learn conversational language to make a great impression and avoid awkward silences. First, ask questions to keep a conversation going. For beginners and even more advanced speakers, the key is to ask questions to keep a conversation going. Of course, they can't be just random questions, or else you may confuse the listener. But by memorizing a few key questions and the appropriate time to use them, you can easily carry a conversation with minimal vocabulary or experience. And remember, the more conversations you have, the quicker you will learn and master the language. Second, learn core vocabulary terms as quickly as possible. You don't need to memorize thousands of words to learn conversational language. In fact, with just a couple hundred words, you could have a very basic conversation. And by learning maybe 1,000 to 2,000 words, you could carry a conversation with a native speaker about current events, order in restaurants, and even get directions. To help you get started with this, check out our 2,000 common words, also known as our core list. These 2,000 words are all you need to learn to speak fluently and carry a conversation with a native speaker. third, study video or audio lessons that you can play and replay again and again. If you want to know how to carry on a conversation, then you need exposure to native speakers, and the more, the better. Studying video or audio lessons is ideal because they provide contextualized learning in your native language, and you can play them again and again until you achieve mastery. Our instructors have created more than 2,500 video and audio lessons that you can play over and over. And the best part is, they don't just teach you vocabulary and grammar. They are designed to help you learn to speak and teach you practical everyday topics like shopping, ordering, and more. Although it may seem intimidating for a beginner, the truth is that it's very easy to learn conversational language. Just learn a few core vocabulary terms and which questions to ask to keep a conversation going. Our language learning program has the world's largest online collection of video and audio lessons by real instructors, plus tons of advanced tools to help you learn to speak and carry on a conversation quickly. Just a little practice and exposure to real conversations or lessons is all it really takes. So, if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to GreekPod101.com's Ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Greek. In the last lesson, we learned the numbers from 1 to 10. Have you forgotten? Here, I'll tell you again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now, let's continue from 11. 11. 11. 12. 12. 13. 14. 14. 15. 15. 16. 16. 17. 17. 18. 18. 19. 19. And finally, we have 20. 20. Okay, now repeat after me. I'll say the numbers and give you time to repeat each one. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. These numbers may seem harder to remember, but you really just have to memorize 11, 12, and 20. All other numbers are a combination of 10, which means 10, and the numbers from 3 to 9. It's like saying 10, 3, 10, 4, etc. Let's not stop at 20. Counting to 100 is super easy. Now I'll give you the tens. 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, ογδόντα, 90, ενενήντα, 100, 100. You'll have to memorize these numbers, but the good news is creating compound numbers is very easy. They are formed by putting the tens in front of the single digits. This means, for example, that 34 is 34 and 87 is 87. Yes, that's right. Exactly like English. Let's try those combinations. 34, 34, 87, 87. Got it? I told you it was really easy. Now it's time for Chrissy's Insights. The pronunciation we have used in this and the previous lesson is a standard pronunciation for numbers. Sometimes, though, especially in casual conversation, Greeks also use efta instead of epta, ochto instead of okto, and ennia instead of enea. So if you notice someone using these words, don't be surprised. They're exactly the same as the ones you have learned. Actually, yours are more correct. After only 2 lessons, you are now able to count to 100 in Greek. Isn't that great? So let's go to the next lesson and see how we can use these numbers in their natural environment. That is, shopping. I'll be waiting for you in our next Ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά lesson. Θα τα ξαναπούμε στο επόμενο μάθημα. Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to GreekPod101.com's Ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Greek. In the last 2 lessons, we learned how to count in Greek from 1 to 100. I hope you spend some time practicing the numbers because they will come in handy in this lesson. Why? Because we will learn how to go shopping in Greece. Before we go, you need to know how to say how much is it. Πόσο κάνει? Πόσο κάνει? Are you ready to go shopping in Greece? Let's go! You see something you like and want to ask the shopkeeper how much it costs. The first thing to say is παρακαλώ. Do you remember what that means? It means please, usually, but in this situation it means excuse me. Παρακαλώ, πόσο κάνει αυτό? Παρακαλώ, πόσο κάνει αυτό? The word αυτό we use in this phrase means it or this. We don't actually say the name of the object. If we want to be more specific, we must know if the object is feminine, masculine, or neuter, convert the word αυτό accordingly, and add the object itself. Let's say we are asking about a hat or a καπέλο. In Greek, a hat is neuter, so we will use the phrase αυτό το καπέλο. Let's try it. Παρακαλώ, πόσο κάνει αυτό το καπέλο? Excuse me, how much is this hat? Παρακαλώ, πόσο κάνει αυτό το καπέλο? And skirt is a feminine noun. Φούστα. Let's try that too. Παρακαλώ, πόσο κάνει αυτή η φούστα? Excuse me, how much is this skirt? Παρακαλώ, πόσο κάνει αυτή η φούστα? Finally, let's also try a masculine noun, like a lighter, αναπτήρας. Παρακαλώ, πόσο κάνει αυτός ο αναπτήρας? Excuse me, how much is this lighter? Παρακαλώ, πόσο κάνει αυτός ο αναπτήρας? At this point, the shopkeeper will answer by saying the price like 15 ευρώ or 20 ευρώ. The word euro means, of course, euro, and as for the number, you already know that, don't you? In case you have forgotten, 15 means 15, and 20 means 20. Now it's time for Chrissy's insights. Even though it is not very polite, the fastest way to ask how much something costs is by saying the word αυτό, meaning it, and adding the word πόσο, meaning how much, like this, αυτό πόσο. In this case, even though you're using the neuter it, αυτό, you can also use it with masculine and feminine nouns. If you don't know the object's gender or you are in a hurry, you can do this. Greeks do it all the time. At this point, can you count euros in Greek? We are going to learn how to do this in the next lesson. After that, you'll have no excuse for not going out on a shopping spree in Greece. I'll be waiting for you in our next ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά lesson. Θα τα ξαναπούμε στο επόμενο μάθημα.
Want to master grammar so you can speak properly, express yourself better, and understand more? In this video, I'll show you how to master grammar with our lessons and learning program. Let's begin. Number 1. Listen to the lesson conversations and explanations. In every lesson, you learn a conversation. Then, our teachers break down every word and grammar rule. So you're actually learning grammar rules in the context of conversations, and you can easily see how they're used. Once you're done, review the conversation again and again to remember what you've learned. Number 2. Read the bonus explanations and tutorials. With the lesson notes, you get extra grammar explanations and examples that are not presented in the lesson. After you're done with the lesson, read the lesson notes for extra review. You can even save them as PDFs so that you can access them anytime. Number 3. Leave a comment on the lesson. Once you've learned a grammar point, be sure to use it. Leave a comment in the comments section. Write some example sentences for practice. Our teachers will review your comment and give you feedback. Number 4. Unlock even more grammar lessons. If you want to find all of the grammar lessons available, visit our lesson library. Under Category, choose Grammar. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons dedicated to helping you learn and master sentence patterns and grammar points. So, if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to GreekPod101.com's ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Greek. In the last lesson, we learned how to be grateful to people by saying ευχαριστώ. In this lesson, we'll learn some of the most common greetings used in Greece. Είστε έτοιμοι? Are you ready? Ξεκινάμε, so let's start. The most used informal greeting is γεια. Ya. Ya means hi, hello, or goodbye. We use it when we meet, but also when we leave. We should only use this greeting with friends or relatives. If you want to be more formal, you need to pay attention to the time of day. The most common phrase is kalimera. Kalimera. Literally, kalimera means good day. However, we may also interpret it as good morning or good afternoon. As a rule of thumb, we can use kalimera only during the daytime, from morning until early afternoon. During the late afternoon and evening, we say kalispera. Kalispera. Espera or spera is ancient Greek for the part of the day after sunset. So kalispera means good afternoon or good evening. Kalimera and kalispera are used when we meet someone, but when we leave, we don't say them again. In this formal situation, Greek people use adio. Adio. Adio means goodbye. If you're leaving after around 8 p.m., you can say kalinichta, which literally means good night. Kalinichta. Finally, it is very common in Greek to use the informal hi we introduced in the beginning of this lesson as a parting greeting as well. Ya. Ya. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Greek. Let's review them all again. When greeting in an informal situation, we say ya. When greeting in a formal situation, we say kalimera or kalispera. When leaving in a formal situation, adio. When leaving in an informal situation, ya. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Chris's insights. In formal situations, Greek people commonly greet each other by shaking hands. On the other hand, if we meet someone we are very friendly with, we kiss each other on both cheeks. Don't be afraid to do it with your Greek friends. It's normal. During the next lesson, we'll learn the meaning of the phrase «Μιλάτε αγγλικά». Do you already know it? We'll be waiting to talk about it with you in our next Ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά lesson. Γεια!
If you're tired of knowing and speaking the language at a basic level and want to express yourself fluently just like native speakers, then you'll need to learn grammar. The problem? It can be tricky to learn. But don't worry, in this guide you'll discover how to learn and master grammar with the Grammar Bank. 1. Where to get all of the grammar explanations you'll ever need. 2. The best way to learn grammar that's right for your level. And 3. How to expose yourself to real examples until the rules become natural to you with a study tool called the Grammar Bank inside of our learning program. But first, if you don't yet have access to our program, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description. First, what is the Grammar Bank? The Grammar Bank is like a grammar dictionary, except online. It's a database of the must-know grammar rules and explanations that makes it easy to look up specific rules and learn them. Look for it in the top menu of our site. 2. How do you learn grammar with it? The best way to learn grammar is not to just study rules, but to learn in context and hear the grammar used in real life. And that's exactly how you learn with our lessons. You learn a quick conversation and hear how the grammar rules are used within that conversation. 3. What if you come across grammar that you're not familiar with? Or what if you want to review a specific rule without going back to redo a lesson? That's where the Grammar Bank comes in. You can look up grammar rules and get the explanations, examples, and links to lessons where we cover these rules. You can also sort grammar by learning level. So if you're an absolute beginner and want to make sure you know all of the absolute beginner grammar rules, you can do just that with the Grammar Bank. You can also sort the rules by spelling, category, and lesson series. And if you want to get used to the grammar patterns so that you can use them in conversation and become fluent, the best way is to expose yourself to examples as much as possible. Grammar is hard at first, but gets easy once you get used to it with enough exposure. Be sure to access the related lessons inside the Grammar Bank and listen to the native conversations that use the rule as much as possible. So, if you want to become fluent and speak perfectly, you'll need grammar. Take advantage of the Grammar Bank inside of our learning program. But if you don't yet have access, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to sign up.
Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to GreekPod101.com's Ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Greek. In the last lesson, we learned the most common forms of greetings in Greek. Do you remember them? In this lesson, we are going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you are asking it in Greek, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're saying, even if their answer is no. Here is the informal way to say it. Μιλάς αγγλικά. Μιλάς αγγλικά. Μιλάς is to speak, and αγγλικά is English. In Greek, verbs change depending on who the subject is. The word μιλάς is conjugated from the verb μιλάω, which means to speak. By the ending s, we understand this is the second person singular. This is the informal way to say you speak. You will notice that the personal pronoun itself, the word you, is missing. This happens very often in Greek. Because the verb ending changes depending on the subject, you don't need to actually say the subject in order to be understood. To learn how to properly conjugate omega verbs like μιλάω, please look at our Absolute Beginner series on GreekPod101.com. You can find very detailed grammar lessons and resources there. We are now going to make this sentence formal. This is done by using the formal version of you, which is εσείς. If we change the word for you, we will conjugate μιλάω differently. It becomes μιλάτε. Everything else stays the same. Μιλάτε αγγλικά. Μιλάτε αγγλικά. Adding συγγνώμη, excuse me, the sentence becomes even more polite. Συγγνώμη, μιλάτε αγγλικά. Συγγνώμη, μιλάτε αγγλικά. The responses you will receive could be one of these three. Ναι, yes. Ναι. Λίγο, a little. Λίγο. Όχι, δεν μιλάω αγγλικά. No, I don't speak English. Όχι, δεν μιλάω αγγλικά. Since this last one is a negative statement, we need to say then or the before the verb μιλάω. Here you can also notice what we mentioned before. The personal pronoun εγώ, that is, I, is not used since the ending of the verb shows that it is the first person. Now it's time for Chris's insights. For those of you who are not only English speakers, you can obviously use this question with any language you need. Greek people study other European languages, so maybe you will get lucky. Just substitute αγγλικά with Italica for Italian, Rossica for Russian, Hispanica for Spanish, Germanica for German. In this lesson, we mentioned the expression συγγνώμη. But did you know that this could also be used as an apology? In the next lesson, we will learn this and other ways to apologize in Greek. It's never too late to show your good manners with Greek people. I'll see you in our next Ελληνικά σε 3 λεπτά lesson. Γεια!
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Greek ebook before it's gone.